Hello guys, welcome to another video. It's me Riyadh, an English teacher. This is another online lesson devoted to fourth year students. Eco-driving is the third lesson of the last module entitled Life Issues. You can find the links to the previous lessons in the description box below. Today's lesson is as important as the previous ones because we cannot have a society if we destroy the environment. If you're interested and you want to find out more, please continue watching this video. Before getting started, let's see what this lesson's objectives are. By the end of the lesson, the students will be able to give advice to people on how to go green by finding collocations and synonyms in a word cloud, watching a video advert to answer some comprehension questions, inferring the meaning of a slogan and explaining it, watching a video to complete a paragraph with the missing words, and giving advice on how to go green. The words or expressions the students are meant to acquire in this lesson are extinction, hazard, impact, to commit suicide, to contaminate, to give up, to go green, to shrink, unhygienic, environmentally friendly, no laughing matter, and detrimental. If you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video, you can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And don't forget to share this video and send it to as many of your friends as possible so that they can make the most of it. As you can see, the dominant color in today's presentation and lesson is green, as we will be talking about nature and the environment. But why is green always associated with nature? Well, the answer is simple. It's because it's the most common color in the natural world, such as green trees, plants, green grass, and many others. The same color is also associated with a blissful life, freshness, and the energy that comes from nature. Green, the color of life, renewal, nature, and energy, is associated with meanings of growth, harmony, safety, and fertility. So let's go green today. To go green means to do more to protect nature and the environment. First, we will get started with this warm-up activity. The picture you see in the middle is called a word cloud, which contains and highlights popular or trending terms based on the frequency of use and prominence. This beautiful and informative image communicates much in a single glance. Before doing this activity, I would like you to pause the video to have time and do the activity at your ease. As you can see, there are pictures labeled with words. You should find in the word cloud synonyms, collocations, and lexical derivations. Let's take the example of chemicals. You should find a word in the word cloud starting with the letter S, which is substances. The word is over here, as you can see in the word cloud. Pause the video now and do the activity at your ease. Then keep watching the video to check your answers. Now let's correct the exercise. The word with the same meaning as hazard, starting with the letter D, is danger. We add the suffix OUS to these two words to get the adjectives, which are dangerous and hazardous. The next word is impact, and its synonym is effect. Both of them can be used as nouns and verbs. As for the word issue, it means problem. It is a subject or topic that people think or talk about. In today's lesson, we will be talking about global warming as an environmental problem or issue. Moving on now to the word fuel, we can also say oil or petrol. Waste, garbage, and rubbish are other synonyms to the word trash. The water in the cup is not clean. We can say unhygienic. Drinking this water is likely to cause infection or disease because it's unhygienic. Let's move on now to collocations and some lexical derivation of the following words. The noun from to contaminate is contamination and contaminant. Contamination means the process of making something dirty or poisonous, or the state of containing unwanted or dangerous substances. And contaminant is the polluting substance. The adjective is contaminated. I can say, for example, this water is contaminated, which means poisonous and not pure. As for the word to pollute, the adjective is polluted, and the substance that pollutes is called a pollutant. Then we have traffic noise, which is also another type of pollution. These contaminants all come from industrial factories. All these types of pollution lead to global warming, which is our focus for today's lesson. To dive into today's lesson and to raise your awareness of this issue, we will start with this heart-touching video. As usual, I would like you to answer the following questions, which are: what is the type of the video? What is the video about? Who is responsible for that? What is the slogan? What does it mean? And what can we infer from it? So after watching this video is an ad, or we can say an advert, or an advertisement. It is about three animals, a polar bear, a kangaroo, and a monkey, which look so depressed that they decided to commit suicide and put an end to their lives. They live in a gloomy environment where there are no green areas, the glaciers are shrunk, and the land is deserted. But who is responsible for that? Definitely human beings are responsible for the situation the environment has come to. The slogan chosen for this ad is, if you give up, they give up. Which means if you stop polluting the environment, these animals will not be subject to extinction. It's a wake-up call and alert to people to stop polluting the environment, to think about future generations, to think clean and go green to keep the world clean, to make a change for climate change, to act together to control climate change, to treat the earth with heart so the world doesn't fall apart, to take serious actions and measures to save our world before it gets too late, because global warming is global warning. To learn more about global warming, how it occurs, and what consequences it brings, let's watch this video.
For 2.5 million years, the Earth's climate has fluctuated, cycling from ice ages to warmer periods. But in the last century, the planet's temperature has risen unusually fast, about 1.2 to 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists believe it's human activity that's driving the temperatures up, a process known as global warming. Ever since the Industrial Revolution began, factories, power plants, and eventually cars have burned fossil fuels such as oil and coal, releasing huge amounts of carbon dioxide and other gases into the atmosphere. These greenhouse gases trap heat near the Earth through a naturally occurring process called the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect begins with the sun and the energy it radiates to the Earth. The Earth and the atmosphere absorb some of this energy, while the rest is radiated back into space. Naturally occurring gases in the atmosphere trap some of this energy and reflect it back, warming the Earth. Scientists now believe that the greenhouse effect is being intensified by the extra greenhouse gases that humans have released. Evidence for global warming includes a recent string of very warm years. Scientists report that 1998 was the warmest year in measured history, with 2005 coming in second. Meanwhile, readings taken from ice cores show that the greenhouse gases carbon dioxide and methane have hit their highest levels in the past 420,000 years. Arctic sea ice is also shrinking. According to NASA studies, the extent of Arctic sea ice has declined about 10% in the last 30 years. As long as industrialized nations consume energy and developing countries increase their fossil fuel consumption, the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere will continue to rise. Researchers predict that temperatures will increase about 2 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit by the end of the century.
Climate change has consequences for our oceans, our weather, our food sources, and our health. Ice sheets, such as Greenland and Antarctica, are melting. The extra water that was once held in glaciers causes sea levels to rise and spills out of the oceans, flooding coastal regions. Warmer temperatures also make weather more extreme. This means not only more intense major storms, floods, and heavy snowfall, but also longer and more frequent droughts. These changes in weather pose challenges. Growing crops becomes more difficult. The areas where plants and animals can live shift, and water supplies are diminished. In addition to creating new agricultural challenges, climate change can directly affect people's physical health. In urban areas, the warmer atmosphere creates an environment that traps and increases the amount of smog. This is because smog contains ozone particles, which increase rapidly at higher temperatures. Exposure to higher levels of smog can cause health problems such as asthma, heart disease, and lung cancer.
As we have seen from this video, global warming is no laughing matter. It's hazardous and can cause detrimental effects on the natural environment. You would have to be heartless to laugh at the idea of people losing their lives, their cultures, and their homes to the rise of the level of the sea. Global warming should be considered a life and death matter. Now that said, let's do this exercise to consolidate some keywords. This exercise is easy peasy. All you need to do is to complete the missing words starting with the suggested letter. The pictures in the missing gaps might help you guess right. Let's now correct the exercise. This video is about global warming. We know that carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxides, etc., are the gases responsible for the greenhouse effect. However, these days, because of increasing in population, carbon dioxide levels are increasing rapidly. Smoke emitted from vehicles as well as factories contains high levels of carbon dioxide and methane. Trees are responsible for absorbing carbon dioxide and maintaining its balance in the atmosphere. However, human beings are cutting down trees for roads, buildings, etc., leading to deforestation. As a result, carbon dioxide balance is not being maintained, and the layer of greenhouse gases is becoming thicker. Due to this, the greenhouse gases trap more heat. This results in an increase in the average temperature of the Earth, and the Earth becomes hotter and hotter. This is what we call global warming. While the rapid rate of climate change is caused by humans, humans are the ones who can combat it. If we were to replace fossil fuels with renewable energy sources like solar and wind energies, which don't produce greenhouse gas emissions, we might still be able to prevent some of the worst effects of climate change. Consumers can help by saving energy around the house by switching to compact fluorescent light bulbs and driving few miles each week. These simple changes may help keep the Earth cooler in the future. Let's see what people can do to go green. People should use fuel-efficient cars. They should switch to energy-efficient light bulbs. They should install photovoltaic heaters and solar panels. They ought to walk or bike instead of driving. They should be mindful or aware of using eco-friendly products. As you can see from these examples, we've used the modals should and ought to plus base form verbs to give people advice or to tell them what the correct or the best thing to do is to go green and be environmentally conscious people. In order for people to also go green, they mustn't cut down trees as they help absorb carbon dioxide. Junk mail around the world produces as much CO2 as 9 million cars. So to stop receiving junk mail, people must contact individual mailers to have their addresses removed from their databases. Meat must be produced by raising animals fed organic food without the use of hormones or antibiotics. Animals mustn't be given any antibiotics, growth hormones, or animal byproducts. In these examples, we've used must and mustn't to express two different things. Mustn't in these examples is used to express prohibition, which means that people are not allowed to or forbidden from doing something. As for must, it expresses that something is compulsory and obligatory. It also shows that it is necessary or very important that something happens in the future. Other things people can do to go green are the following. They needn't use shopping plastic bags. Plastic bags must be banned. They needn't use a clothes dryer, but rather a line to dry their clothes. They needn't keep appliances on at the power point when not in need. In these examples, we've used needn't plus base form to express the lack or absence of necessity. We use need mostly in the negative form to indicate that there is no obligation or necessity to do something. This means that there is no necessity to use shopping plastic bags. People can use other types of bags that can be recycled. Plastic bags can have various negative impacts on the environment, so they must be banned or forbidden. There is no necessity to use a clothes dryer since we have another option or alternative, which is the line. And finally, there is no necessity to keep the electronic appliances at the power point when not in need. It's energy consuming. Another thing people can do to go green is switching to green power, which can help reduce the carbon footprint. We've used in this example can plus base form to express possibility. Now, after going over some of the tips, prohibitions, obligations, and necessities that people can do to help save the environment, and revising modal verbs in the simple present tense, let's now watch this video and answer the following questions to learn something new. The questions are, what is the video about and what moral can we learn from this video? Let's correct now. This video is about a woman who threw her trash out of a car window. The woman got an unexpected fight from a motorbike rider who pulled up alongside her and threw the trash back. The moral that we can learn is that going green should be our lifestyle and little things can make a difference. This is an uncivilized, immoral, and unethical behavior. This woman is completely mistaken and should be blamed and reproached for throwing the trash in the street. To do that, we can use shouldn't have plus past participle, which is used for something that wasn't a good idea but you did it anyway. In this context, the motorcycle rider might have told her you shouldn't have thrown the trash in the street. This means that throwing the trash in the street was a bad idea or thing to do, but she did it. The motorcycle rider might have also told her you should have thrown your trash in the bin when you got home. Should have plus past participle expresses something that would have been a good idea but you didn't do it. It's like giving advice about the past when you say it to someone else or regretting what you did or didn't do when you're talking about yourself. In this context, throwing the trash in the bin when she got home would have been a good idea for the woman to do, but she didn't do it. The woman was able to keep the rubbish or the trash in the car until she got home and then threw it in the bin. We can say in this context, she could have kept her trash in the car and thrown it when she got back home to keep the environment clean. Could have plus past participle means something was possible in the past, or you had the ability to do something in the past but you didn't do it. In this context, the woman had the possibility to keep her trash in the car and throw it in the bin when she got back home, but she didn't do it. In the negative form, we can say, she couldn't have kept the trash in the car, could she? And it is used to express something that wasn't possible in the past, even if you had wanted to do it. That's all for me, guys. We've come to the end of today's lesson, and these are its keynotes. You can screenshot this page and add it to your portfolio. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also to make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much. Love and peace. Riyadh.